What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 13 running back rankings, half point PPR as always. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button to stick around for more videos. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section down below. I respond to all comments. So, yeah, let me know your trade advice, whatever you need for your fantasy playoffs to help you win your league, beat your friends and families. All right. So number one, Jonathan Taylor against Houston. This is a great matchup for Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to run all over Houston. And yeah, just has a chance for that explosive game. Joe Mixon plays the Chargers in that run funnel. He's going to run right up in that funnel. Going to get all up in it. Be very good for fantasy against the Chargers. Three, Alexander Madison. I have full confidence that he is going to be the guy. Great matchup with Detroit. Had a great game last year in Week 17 against Detroit. You are starting Alexander Madison with full confidence this week. Four, Austin Eckler, always great against Cincinnati, regardless of matchup. And Cincinnati is a solid matchup in general. Five, Austin Eckler against Atlanta. We saw what Fournette did last week. He is averaging 18.5 points per game since he took over as the starter in Week 4 and has a great matchup against Atlanta. You're starting Leonard Fournette. Six, James Conner against Chicago with Kyler Murray back from that ankle injury in all likelihood. And another week of Chase Edmonds being on IR. You get James Conner in a role where he's going to have great touchdown upside as well as pass catching ability, first and second down work. He is a smash play against Chicago. Seven, Alvin Kamara against Dallas. If Kamara is healthy, you are playing him no matter what. Not a great matchup against Dallas, but you're still going to play him. Cordarrelle Patterson playing Tampa Bay. My reasoning here, ranking him above Najee and at 8 is even though he has a tough matchup with Tampa Bay on the ground, I think he's still going to be able to get it done and make explosive plays through the air where Tampa is vulnerable. 9, Najee Harris against Baltimore. The reason he's so low, I usually have him ranked very high, is that I think Baltimore is going to do what they did to Cleveland and just really try to slow down the run game at all costs, knowing that Big Ben can't really hurt them with his arm. The great corners they have, a division game, rivalry game, I think it will be low scoring, low touchdown upside for Najee. 10, Elijah Mitchell against Seattle. 2 of the last 3 weeks, he's had 27 carries. Elijah Mitchell is a smash play against Seattle and a great matchup. They are very poor against running backs. 11, Darryl Henderson Jr. We've heard about the injuries to Matthew Stafford. He's playing a little banged up. And I think that's just all the reason to let Darrell Henderson carry the load against a Jacksonville team that's not going to be able to stop the run or do anything about it. Darrell Henderson, I think, could have a huge game this week. 12, Antonio Gibson against Las Vegas. Speaking of a guy who's getting more volume again, just getting a ton of touches and has a Vegas matchup that's great. Gibson is looking better ever since he got a little bit of a rest for that leg. Gibson's looking great rest of the season. Ezekiel against New Orleans, the reason he's down here at 13, New Orleans is first against the run, and there's been rumors of the team trying to slow him down a little bit. There's a chance think we see more of a 50-50 split with Tony Pollard this week, trying to rest Zeke a little bit down the stretch, keep him primed for the playoffs. And Tony Pollard is really good. Honestly, I think he's probably better than Zeke, so I think that there's a high likelihood that they introduce a little more Tony Pollard in this offense to give him a break with that knee injury. 14, Jamal Williams against Minnesota. Jamal Williams going to get a lot of that first and second down work. I think he's a great third down back as well. Great at pass blocking, reliable hands, going to get volume in the air with DeAndre Swift out. Minnesota's a good matchup. Jamal Williams is a top 15 play. James Robinson against the Rams. The real thing with James Robinson is you have to hope that that one drive that the Jaguars have that's good in the game that James Robinson punches in the touchdown, and that they get down a bunch that he's just catching a little dink and dunk passes, racking up points in your half-point PPR leagues. PPR potentially even more. Josh Jacobs plays the Washington football team. I think the reason I have him so high this week, he was great last week. Josh Jacobs is significantly better in fantasy when they wins. They have a good chance of winning this game against the Redskins, or against the football team, excuse me. So yeah, I have Josh Jacobs at 16 this week. Saquon Barkley against Miami. I want to see Saquon be back and really be productive before I rank him high. Miami's been pretty good against running back so far this year, and Saquon is playing behind a poor offensive line, a bad offense. So yeah, I want to see a little bit more before I start ranking him higher. Miles Sanders plays the Jets this week. I think he is going to be great for fantasy this week. I'm really excited about him. The Jets are giving up a ton of points on the ground to running backs, I think Miles Sanders can just gobble all that up this week. Myles Gaskin had 2 monster weeks recently as a New York Giants this week. Great matchup for him. You're playing him. Devonta Freeman has been the lead guy in this backfield so far. Gets Pittsburgh this week, who hasn't been nearly as good as running backs as they usually are. When you're ever the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson as your starting quarterback in their scheme, you're going to be fantasy relevant. Devonta Freeman at 20. 21, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a touchdown in his last start, 12 carries, 60 yards. That Kansas City offense looks like they're getting it together, which means there'll be opportunities for Helaire. The nice thing is he's been playing as a starter, and Mahomes has been looking a little bit more for the running back recently, which he really was neglecting at the beginning of the season. Melvin Gordon, 22 against Kansas City. Gordon is a nose for the end zone. This should be a high-scoring game. Hopefully he can punch one in. David Montgomery, tough matchup against Arizona. He's just been pretty mediocre since he's got back. Just that offense doesn't give him a lot of opportunities to produce. 24, Devin Singletary against New England. Singletary's looked really good running the ball. I know there's a lot of backs there, but that's a high-powered offense. If I had to pick one, I would pick Singletary. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. I respond to all comments. This has been Fantasy Joe. I'll see you guys next time.